All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. This thing with freaking my computer, man, I'm gonna throw it out the window. I swear. It goes fine for like 10 days, 15 days, and then suddenly it just decides to start acting all funky. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. Anyway, the point is so you guys can at least look at it after, whenever you have time. Uh, just to, again, learn how to use the components properly, when you should use what and why and how. That's the point of all this, right? I'll give it a minute. You guys will come back. If not, come back later. I'm sorry. Keeps doing this to me. I've changed. I don't know. This is my third. This is my third graphics card, and I changed the power unit. I don't. I guess I got to change memory. I don't know. Now the fact that I do have a lot of tabs open probably does contribute to the strain. But again, the the graphics cards I'm using are really high end, so I don't see that being the problem. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe it's a chip. Who cares? Let's continue. All right. So Bitcoin. Remember again that this could be one of these deals where it drops, okay, and then pops and goes from there. All right. That could be the case, but I would much prefer it, and I know people are not going to want to hear this. I would much prefer that this comes down even more, does something like this. Beautiful little setup. Off we go to the moon. It'll just take a while. So I know guys don't want that. They just want it to go up every day. Litecoin, big move down today. Double topping. All right, right here. And this is why I don't like these as much. They get some really nice setups. Okay. Come up testing and then they start to fade. Is this going to be something that's going to lead to something more of a downside? I don't know. I know that I don't like them when they start, you know, having huge moves like this. Ethereum, the same thing. Ripple. Ripple looks like it's just going to fade away. Something like this. Right? Kind of go into like a little limp tick thing, and then off it'll go. All right? All right, dollar. A little bit of a bounce here. Okay? I know a lot of guys are looking at the limp tick here as well. Right? There it is. Uh, Maybe I'll get a little bit of a bounce, okay, and then we'll look for more downside. Now let's take a look at the uh, SDRs, special joint rates of the IMF, and they look fine, right? Nice little breakout. Dollar against the Japanese yen, right? It's just grinding, nothing there. U.S. dollar, a little bit of a pullback. Euro U.S. dollar, okay, it can come all the way back here. It's no big deal, right? Come back. So this will be like a break test go kind of move. Nothing wrong with that. The pound, remember, had a big sell-off, pausing right in here against the resistance. The fact that there's so many bars in here, I think, is bullish. Okay, it's high basing. So I would like to see this one break out, and I would like to get involved in that. Euro, Great Britain, pound is just sideways. Turkish lira, nothing. Uh, Dollar getting crushed against the ruble. New low today. USD CAD is kind of uh, trying to bottom here. Create a little flag. All right. Maybe I can call this a bullish flag, possibly. If it hooks here, right? If it hooks here, right? Look at the structure. It's fully formed. It's pointing to the downside. Perhaps you get a little bit of a relief rally, and then you'll watch it come back down again. All right. So right now on the dollar, you are kind of uh, in a pause. Australian dollar, same thing. Not much going on. There it is. All right. So a little bit of a pause. New Zealand dollar, incredibly bullish, having some difficulties, holding still above the structure. New low for the dollar against the Mexican peso, and the won another new low today. Just continues to grind away, right? And we know where our target is, all the way down here, about 637 ish. Euro index still in that little bullish formation, right? So we should get some resolution here shortly, hopefully. Right, we'll get that next move up. Right, maybe it breaks a little bit the trend line. Maybe does it like a little dip for an expansion, and then off it goes again. We'll keep an eye on it. 10-year, little cup and handle in here. Okay, still in a very much bullish formation. Right, here's what it looks like. Right, so if it builds some pressure here, right, perhaps takes a little dip and then up it goes. So just correcting through time. Aggregate bonds, no follow through. We'll make this a structure above a structure for now. And that's about, okay, that's about it. I mean, IBB, we've been waiting for it to break out. It broke out today. Okay, we've been waiting for this. So now, anything above this trend line, which is about 148, look for this one to really take off. Okay, this is a buy. Water, doing fine. Hotels. Hotels, look, see, nice little bull setup. You can actually, uh, let's look at them individual. Right, so hotels are outperforming airlines right now, but let's look at them individually. Okay, yeah, see, nice little flag setup here. I don't think this double top will hold. So it's a nice little rising wedgie. I want to take this off because I think it's going to break. And I don't think it'll be a double top. All right. So what do we have? We have a nice little thrust up move with a nice little consolidation. It's a 1, 2, 3. I'm sure you can see it, but I'll draw it anyway. There it is. All right, 1, 2, 3. Fully hooked, good to go. All right, look for this one to break out. All right. So we're still in that bullish, we're going back to normal, go buy the beaten up stocks. Everything is great. We're still in that phase. It hasn't gone away. And like for today, you see that the small caps are leading, right? The small caps are, why the fuck would the small caps with a PE of 1 gazillion be leading? Unless there was that trade. That, hey, we're going back to normal. Don't worry about anything. Life is good. All right. So we talked about this nice little bull setup. So what do you do here? If you were to do a pairs trade, you would go long hotels, short airlines. That's the way that would work. All right, Royal Caribbean, rising wedge. The Norwegian cruise liners have broke the previous high. Let me mark that. All right, so that's wave 3 now. Okay. So this is what I mean. 1, 2, 3, breaking out. And it's not going to go that high, but you get the point. Carnival still hasn't made it to the previous high. Now let's look at the fangs. Apple's in a rising F flag after breaking out. Not very thrusty, not very convincing. Take a look at Amazon. Broke down a little bit and then popped right back up. Okay. So it's starting to consolidate in here. And it's actually making this formation. All right. So we can come as high as about $3,271 on Amazon. Microsoft, same thing, popped back into structure. Facebook, still holding. Netflix continues to push higher. All right. Nice little bear flag, right? Google consolidating at previous high. That's bullish, high base. Nvidia pulling back a little bit. We can adjust this now. And that's, that's a nice 1, 2, 3 validated. First counter trend move, 1, 2, 3, hooked, valid formation. Let's see which way it breaks. Tesla. Yeah, baby. Tesla. All right, so what's going on with this? All right, Tesla now is coming up to that double top. All right, testing the previous high. It's in a rising wedge looking thingy because it went to, let me fix that. All right. Now remember, this is wave 3, right? So it's not finished, so I just put it anywhere. I'll put it like this. Okay, so it's a 1, 2, 3. All right, 1, 2, 3 up. Had a nice little pause in here. So there's the third wave is with 3 waves as well. So this is how you look at it. All right. So this whole thing is a 1. This is a 1. This is a 2. This is a 3. Okay. So we're in a wave 3 now. Let me fix this a little bit. Okay. So we're in a wave 3, double topping. Let's see if it holds here. I think it could get to the next round number about 700, maybe a little bit above that. But then once this starts to break, well, that's probably going to be the end of wave 3. Because it's going to be a 3 of 3. So it's going to be a 1, 2, 3 up, and then it's going to be a 1, 2, 3 up, 3 of 3 down. How much? Well, I think it can go down 65%. So let's say about, I don't know, let's make it 800. 65% would bring it right back to 280, 250, something in there. Okay. If you were to look at it from this perspective, if you look at it like this, there it is. Then, let's say somewhere up here. Then it can come as low as 80%, 150. So it's a big fucking move down. All right, big fucking move down. All right, Delta. Tentatively, the top line is gray. All right, continues to be bullish. Same thing with American Airlines. American gave us some difficulties in here. This whole structure in here was kind of funky, right? And then it took off. Southwest starting to break down. Alaska starting to break down. Let me fix this a little bit. Okay, so it's starting to break down here a little bit. JetBlue is still holding. Spirit double topping. It's okay. Allegiant, almost starting to break, right? Correcting through time. Hawaiian breaking down. SkyWest breaking down. Higher high for Ryanair. And EasyJet, big pullback, 5% today alone, starting to break down here. Okay, so double topping as well. Let me mark that. There it is. Okay, so again, we're in this kind of like, oh yeah, let's go out and buy airlines, let's go out and buy Royal Caribbean and Car and Avis and Hertz and all that bullshit. But at the same time, hotels are outperforming airlines. So that's why I told you before, if you wanted to do like a pairs trade, you short airlines and you buy hotels. Okay, on a break of that structure. That's about it in terms of what I want to show you. Maybe I want to show you this as well. Not that. Where is it? All right, so both of these are equally weighted. I'm sorry, not equally weighted. Dollar weighted. So we're adjusting for the dollar collapse. And both of them are at previous highs. All right, both of them. So keep that in mind. We're at a very key area right now. Very key area. Again, Nancy Pelosi comes out yesterday. 5 million, not 5 million. Things are getting better, right? So with the stimulus, Tesla today announced they're going to issue another 5 billion in stock. Now, remember what Chano said, right? As long as there's demand, the market is always going to give it supply. And what happens? Eventually, you're going to give too much supply, and then everything comes crumbling down. And it always works that way. Always. Always. So, in Musk's mind, he's like, fuck it, if I can get 5 billion by issuing some stock, who cares? Everybody loves my stock. Okay. Smart for him. The suckers are buying it are the problem. All right. So, let's go to the smaller time frame going into the close. About 8 minutes left. Let's see where point of control is. And we'll get it from the bottom here for the point of control. Right. There we go. Okay, so point of control is somewhere around 12. It's the same place. It's at 12.5 area. All right. And of course, you got the P. All right. Hasn't quite made it to the top yet. We don't know if it will. All right. So that's how I would draw it, right? Nice rising wedge. S&P topping previous high. Right here. Now, just the fact that we might get stimulus is not necessarily going to be good, because how much stimulus you get matters. And I think that's why Joe Biden was saying, well, it's just the beginning. Don't worry. Don't panic. Right? It's setting expectations for the market, not to panic, because it might not be as juicy as people think. Small caps continue to push higher, breaking out. Transportation, that lower high, Fangs. Still in that bullish formation. VIX. We didn't talk about the VIX today. VIX is breaking down again. I'm not sure if I should expand this a little bit, but it is breaking down. Now, what's nice about the VIX being as low as it is it's the low volatility on the options. So the price of an option shrinks, right? And the more volatility there is, the more expensive options become. For those of you who understand what options are, I'm not going to get into it now, but just keep that in mind. Give me 1 second here. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. Had to do some stuff for subscribers. All right, so coming up, last 2 minutes, not much happening. We'll take a look at the market in Turnus once the market closes. Overall, not much. Okay, it's kind of still grindy little moves higher, higher. Just expecting that stimulus, blah blah blah. The closer we get to the end of the month, the more you're going to see this grind. Maybe a sharp sell-off, then grind back up. um, Something that I saw interesting today was that XLY to NDX. Okay. XLY has been underperforming here, NDX, right? But it's coming into that support area, right? Just barely broke it today a little bit, but be aware of that, okay? That it could start to reverse here. And doesn't necessarily mean that XLY would do better. It just means that the stock market might drop faster than XLY. That's all that means. All right, so there's the market close. Again, not a whole hell of a lot. Again, I also want to show you that Tesla, right? This still hasn't hooked, but we're really getting to that point where Tesla has been outperforming the Nasdaq for such a long time. We're really starting to get near that potential area of reversal. You never know when this is going to end. It can really continue much higher. But again, it's going to start to get a little bit too frothy, especially once you're coming up against the heavyweights, the Apples, the Facebooks, the Netflix, the Berkshire Hathaways, the Microsofts. You start getting up to those numbers, your upside starts to become limited. And the market cap now is more than Berkshire, which is more than $500 billion. They don't have any revenue. A lot of good news is baked in, including the being added to the S&P. It's not like they're going to start giving a dividend. They got to make money to give a dividend. Although I would not be surprised that they go out and issue stock and borrow and start issuing dividends just to push it higher. But it is what it is. NDX. No, not what I want to show you. No, okay. Not that either. Where is it? Can't find it now. Anyway, I'll find it next time. That's it for today. Let's just go look at the internals. Let's see what led the market today. I'm just going to refresh it, make sure it's okay. All right, so we were led by energy, healthcare, and consumer staples. Lagging, retail, utility, communications. Garbage-ona. Garbage. Not what you want to be seeing. Same thing on a 5-day, energy, healthcare, and industrials. And lagging is utility, which is normal to be lagging. Consumer, discretionary, and real estate. So it looks a little bit better. But again, information technology, communication is in the middle. That's garbage-ona as well. All right. So that's it. Anybody have any questions before I go? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. All right, good. So again, we did break out of the Nasdaq. We're in the upper range of the move from the previous low where we bottomed out. Point of control is about 12,500. Thank you, Alessandro. Let's see if this starts to come back into structure again. Meaning tomorrow it starts to pull back. Right? And if it starts to break again, this trend line, then I would look for a deeper pullback. Right? It's still bullish so long as it remains within this structure, right? As long as above here, it's still bullish. But for the short term, you can get a nice little trade to the bottom. All right, that's it, guys. Thank you very much. Sorry for the disruption again. I'll try to fix it. All right, take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye.